compress the deep truth of our origin, history, destiny, and fate. In the last episode, I shared the new evidence that is absolutely shaking the foundation of modern science when it comes to the story of human evolution, us, and where we come from. Advanced CSI-like technology is now revealing DNA evidence in our time that Charles Darwin simply could not have known in his. The DNA that was supposed to represent our ancestors is now telling us a story. It's our story. And the story is that we are not the product of the long, slow process of evolution that we see for other forms of life. So I want to be very clear. DNA is telling us that evolution is a fact. It's just not our story. The DNA is also telling us that we did not descend from primitive beings, such as ancient Neanderthals. The DNA is telling us that we appeared on this earth suddenly, in evolutionary terms, as what are called now anatomically modern humans, AMH. We appeared about 200,000 years ago, and the thing is, we haven't changed since we appeared. So now that we know what we're not, and we know how quickly we did appear, the questions that come to mind are why and how. Why did we suddenly appear? Why did we show up on this earth 200,000 years ago, and how did it happen? Well, that's what this episode is all about. In this episode, we'll answer these questions, and in doing so, we're going to open the door to an even deeper mystery. Because the answer to the mystery begins in our chromosomes. What you're seeing on the screen is a graphic representation. These are two separate chromosomes. So these were two chromosomes already existing in the primate genome, in the great apes and the chimpanzees. You're seeing a dotted line across those chromosomes. For a reason that we don't understand, we're not sure what happened, there was a break. Something broke or cut or sliced those chromosomes. And they were broken in a way that you're seeing on your screen right now. Portions of those were deleted. That material, the longer portions on the lower part of the graph, the lower part of the chart, it disappeared. So that material no longer exists. Above, the two portions that you see are now free actually came together and fused at the ends, as you're seeing on your screen right now. And that fusion created the longer human chromosome number 2. It makes 8% of the DNA, as I mentioned, in every cell in our body. However, that's not the end of the story. Because after the fusion happened, as you can imagine, each of those chromosomes was independent unto itself before the fusion. So each of those chromosomes had information to help it function in the way that it did. When they were fused, when the two pieces came together, all of a sudden there were overlapping functions that actually would have made human chromosome number 2 less efficient. And to deal with that in a way that is not understood today, the overlapping functions were either turned off within the DNA, they shut down within the chromosomes, or completely removed altogether. That is what changes the story. So what we're looking at is the mystery of an ancient telomere to telomere fusion. The function, the precision, the timing with which this fusion happened, the fact that it happened quickly, the fact that it is so precise that certain redundant functions were removed and portions were deleted, it tells us that something more than evolution has happened here. Evolution, as we know it today, cannot and does not explain this fusion. And this fusion is key because it's the fusion that makes us human. It's the fusion that sets us apart from all other form of life. It appears to be intentional. And this is where we begin to kind of open the door to forbidden territory in science. So I'm sharing with you the science. This is peer-reviewed science that tells us what happened, and we've just done that. Now there's this gray, this shady kind of fuzzy area. Why would something like that happen? There appears to be an intent underlying this, and scientists don't know who or how or why, and I don't either for certain. I have my sense, my suspicions, but I'd like to explore some possibilities with you.